Hi guys, welcome back to Nick's home renovation. I'm at my 1955 house renovation. You might be able to see behind me the builders have been hard at work. We've got lots of 9x2 joists in. We've got our 3 skylights, which I'll talk about in more depth in a minute. And we've also got the steel here for next week, so the builders can put in the steel and we can finally build up to the second floor on the side, which I'll show you. Let me take you on a little tour and then I'll talk through everything in a bit more detail. So, the joists run all the way across the back here in what is the single story extension. I'll put some floor plans alongside this video, as a lot of people have said they would like to see floor plans to envisage what we're doing a bit better. So all of this is going to be single story out the back. We're 4.3 meters extended here, so we get about 4.1 internal space, allowing for the cavity and the brickwork. And then back here is going to be a 2-story extension. So we're waiting on the steel, which is in the front garden, which I'll show you in a minute, to go across there, and then we can build up and then knock through all of this as well. But before I talk more about that, I'll show you what I'm up to. So quite a lot of people have asked me about where to get roof lights, what roof lights to get. I use a company called EOS Roof Lights, EOS. They're based in Kent, near where this house is, but they ship to the whole of the UK. And they're supplying my roof lights, so they're aluminium, triple glazed, but they do all sorts of cool stuff, like ones that open up, double glazed, triple glazed, walk-on ones. So they supply the whole country and are really cool. And we've decided to go with them, and I'm going to have one here. So this is 2 meters by 60 centimeters, and the idea of it there is the kitchen is coming along here to about there, and we're going to have an island somewhere around here, and I didn't want a skylight over here to infringe on the island, so that bit there is just going to bring in a little bit of light in this section. And then we've got our doors, either sliding doors or bifold doors here, so I wanted another one here. This is 2 meters by 1 meter, again aluminium, triple glazed, and that's going to bring in a lot of light to this section, which is going to be quite a dark bit of the house. When this all gets knocked through, this is going to be a hallway here, a downstairs loo and a cloakroom, so this area is going to be quite dark, as you can imagine. So a nice big skylight there is going to bring it in. I was debating flipping it that way and having it horizontally, but I think this does look better that way and will bring in more light. And then the last one I'd like to get your guys' opinion on, because my wife and I can't decide whether we're actually going to keep this or not. So the third one is here, again centre of what will be patio doors here with 2 tall windows. And we think actually the skylight is quite unusual in this space, and not a lot of people have skylights in what is going to be the living room. So this here is going to be a living room up to probably about here. So I'm going to put floor plans on again. And then we've got Lydia's nursery in that corner, a little office slash sort of coffee room over there, and then this big space here is going to be the living room. And we just don't know whether a skylight in the living room is what people have and whether it's a good idea or not. So I'd like to know your opinion. It might break up the room into sort of 2 sections, so we could have a section here and a section back there, but there's also a plan to have maybe a fireplace or something, and I don't know whether it all goes with that. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that. I'll go at the front now and show you the steel. So the steel is going to go across here, basically where that ladder is. They're going to have to knock out a hole there. Actually, sorry, it's probably where that black mark is there. So the steel's going across here, and then we can build up to the second floor, get more scaffolding here, and the exciting bit really starts. Nothing's changed in the garden. I've got my type 1 for the patio there to go down, and some blocks. Back in the dark house, got my hole for the drainage. So this is going to be the downstairs loo. The toilet stack from upstairs is going to come down here, and we're going to hide it in the stud wall. That will serve the main bathroom and en-suites from upstairs. This wall is coming out, and we're putting a big steel above there to hold that, because this is a supporting wall, and then that will line up with the other steel, what I just said, going across over to there as well. So lots of work to do next week, but apparently in a week's time all the ceiling joists and the steel will be in. Living room, not much change in here. Eventually, obviously, we'll be knocking through. So these patio doors will be knocked through, and what I'm standing in now will be a utility room. And then we're going to put a wall down here somewhere to give Emily an office in the front here. And really open this up. Stairs are being flipped the other way to go upstairs. And then where this downstairs loo is will be the corridor to the extension for Lydia's playroom and the other room off the front, and then the living room on the right. I'll show you the big steel at the front. So this is actually lighter than the other steel that you already saw was in. So this steel is going in next week. So 2 guys can get that in apparently. I don't fancy it, but apparently it's lighter than the other ones, so not too bad. Still a complete mess out the front. That's all got to be taken away by a grabber lorry, and the scaffolding's ready to build up to go to that second floor. And we've got to decide further down the line what we do to make this house more attractive. I think some sort of porch area in here, and have the whole thing rendered like the neighbours have done. It's probably the course of action, but got to do inside first. Coming upstairs, see a bit more of the extension there. Not much changes, but I'll put a few before photos for people that haven't seen the videos before. There was a bathroom there, there was a bedroom there, there was a cloakroom there, and it's all gone. None of it was structural. And then the exciting bit will be eventually what's going to happen here. So we're going to knock through this wall and go out, and you can really see from up here. Over here is going to be Lydia's bedroom with an ensuite, and then towards the back bit, just through this gap up to that steel, is going to be our bedroom and the master bedroom with an ensuite. And then 2 rooms that aren't changing. This is the 4th bedroom, all been stripped out. And then the 3rd bedroom, all been stripped out. And then this is going to be an ensuite. So that door's being blocked up and it's being moved slightly further along to here. And then we're going to have an ensuite where this storeroom was a long time ago. And then my handiwork, make sure you don't fall down the hole, is me removing this chimney, which I've still got bits to do. Chip off all these few blocks sticking out. But I haven't done any work here in a long time because it's just been the builders, but that's all good. So we're making progress. Oh wow, it's getting dark. Really happy with how it's going. I'm hoping by Christmas we've got the roof on, and we've got all the steels in, and I can order the windows and get it watertight. Once it's watertight, this is the really good bit. I can come in, the plumber can come in, and we can really start to move forward and actually plaster some rooms and hopefully get it livable by June, July, sometime in next year. But fingers crossed. Thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing. Would love to hear your comments on the skylight in the living room, whether you think that's a good idea, whether we can make it work, maybe how we can divide that room into usable spaces, and any comments on the skylights. I know a lot of people have pinged me a message since I mentioned EOS roof lights. If you have any questions about them as well, give me a shout. But yeah, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one where hopefully we have another steel in, all the joists done, and we can start to build up, and that's when it gets really exciting. Have a nice weekend.